If you want to factor a polynomial and you're not given one of the factors, the rational root theorem will help you determine all the possible zeros or roots of that polynomial function. What it says is you're going to take the factors of the last term. So although on here, so this is talking about the last term on top, and the denominator is talking about the first term. And you're doing factors of each. So if they have also ones in common, or if they have, obviously everything has a factor of 1, so the factors of the last term are all going to be possibilities, and then whatever you would get by dividing by the other factors of your first term would work out. So if you take a look at the first example, now we're going to list them out. It being possibly trying synthetic division on this first one, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 different ways. We're going to use the calculator to narrow that down, but I still would like you to list out all of the possible factors, the possibilities. So our an, or our first term, is 1, the first coefficient, and then the last is 20. So since we're going to be dividing everything by 1, since the only factors of 1 are plus or minus 1, we can really just list out the factors of 20, and that will work. So all of our possible factors, p over q, are going to be plus or minus 20, plus or minus 10, plus or minus 5, 4, 2, and 1. Now, usually when you start off, you start with trying an easy one like a positive or a negative one. So these are all the possible factors. Again, if we were going to try to test these out, it could take a long time before finding one that works. So these are all the possibilities. If you type this function in your calculator and then hit second graph and go to your table, the table will help you identify good whole number factors. This is something I will go over with you in class also, but type it in, go to second graph, something that you're comfortable with, and you'll notice if you scroll to where -1 is, 4, and 5, you're going to see you'll have zeros next to each of them. And they are factors that are in this list. We have the 5, the 4, and the plus or minus 1. You're only going to use 2 of these. And we're going to do synthetic division with that polynomial function. You can write this right underneath. I'm going to need a little extra space, so I'm going to move on to the next slide. So I'm going to pick -1 and 4 as the 2 that we're going to use. So we're going to start out with x equals -1, and then we're also going to use x equals 4. If that's your root, your factor would be x plus 1. So when we go to put it in factored form, you're going to want to use that. But we'll do synthetic division, so -1. Nothing's missing in terms of coefficients, so we'll do 1, -8, 11, and 20. Now we're actually going to do synthetic division twice, which will factor down a cubic completely. So we'll bring this down. We'll get 1, -1, -9, +9, 20, and then -20. So we get 0. You're going to do synthetic division a second time, but we're going to continue with the same thing we just got. So you're not going to use, I'm actually going to erase this here, you're not going to use the remainder, you're just going to use the other 3 terms that are left. So do synthetic division. With the result. So we'll use the 4. Remember, the factor that's going to go with 4 would be x minus 4. And actually, it might help to even just write what the factors are on the side here for when you go to use it later. So we'll bring this down, multiply, we get 4, -5, -20, and 0. So after you do synthetic division twice and you're down to a binomial, you found that last factor. Now we did look at it using the table. We would have been able to use the table for all 3 actually. That doesn't always happen. So in factored form, using a combination of those roots and your calculator, you can get the factored form of x cubed minus 8x squared plus 11x plus 20 using synthetic division completely. The next example we will take a look at in the next video, since this one's already at 5 minutes. That one's going to be a little longer process because you'll have to do synthetic division twice and then also factor after that.